you had a good segue a minute ago, which is why I was going to jump on it about idiots, because Rob has sent me an email. Corny. I'm 37, single, live at home with my parents, but I have a decent job that pays me $100,000 a year. My question, how did you adjust to hair loss as a television personality and deal with it and still retain your confidence? I have had hair loss since 17, still trying to deal with it, but it's a rough one when you deal with the public. Any thoughts or prayers are welcome. Hashtag Cult of Cornette.
Wow.
And Rob, you are a devoted Cult of Cornette member, and I don't mean to, I josh, I kid, I fun. But here's the thing. First of all, as relates to my own hair situation, I have always, before I went out on television or at a live event, I've always washed my hair. And every once in a while, I might have time to use conditioner, but not often. And I always try to blow dry it so that it doesn't just dry every way and also would get funky, especially in those Louisiana summers. You know, when I had more of it, it was thicker then. And otherwise than that, I've pretty much not done anything to it except watch some of it leave. And I never had a problem because I wasn't supposed to be a good-looking wrestler. I was supposed to be a Weasley manager. And when I was a young mama's boy Weasley manager, I had a lot of hair. When I'm just an old Weasley manager, well, look at fucking Heyman. So there you go. So I didn't really fucking care. And
Heyman held on as long as he could.
Well, he tried with the stuff in the back, which would have bothered me just to no end. I've always tried to be more kempt than unkempt. But otherwise, and then I actually I can't say that I've washed my hair before every show, because sometimes back in the day, the 2 or 3 a days, you know, where you'd be in Philly in the afternoon, Baltimore at night, TV in the morning, I couldn't always wash my hair before each and every event. But otherwise than that, I've never thought about coloring it. I've never thought about transplanting it or having anything added to it. I've just washed it and dried it and comb it. And I do especially because I have a cowlick, I'll use a bit of a spray to just kind of tamp it down on top there. That's the way. But here, more importantly to the question is, I understand why if you're 37, single, live at home with your parents and have a decent job that pays $100,000 a year, I understand a couple of things. I don't understand why you live at home with your parents if you make $100,000 a year. I don't understand why you make $100,000 a year if you live at home with your parents. I understand why you're single even if you make $100,000 a year, because you live at home with your parents. Some of these things add up, but not all of them together. And actually, you may have a bit more confidence with the young ladies, especially making $100,000 a year, if you didn't live at home with your parents. I don't know how all those things add up together.
However, if he's earning $100,000 a year, and let's say he's been earning that for 5 years, you know, he's in his 30s. Let's say he's been holding down $100,000 a year for 5 years, not paying rent, and potentially not paying that much for dates. So he's been saving up money. He's prepared now. If he meets the right girl, he could bounce and get a nice place, I would think, if he saved up his money.
Well, or more specifically, he could meet the right girl 3 times a week and come out even from what it would cost him to get married and still move out.
Or
if you think about it.
Or that. Yes.
So I don't really. All right. Anyway.